Happy Friday. My bad. Happy Freaky Friday. So, I know why you're all here. Because it's Freaky Friday. And I gotta give you my Freaky Friday story or feeling or whatever that I feel like today. So, I guess that I am going to tell y'all my most hoe experience that I've ever had. Put your seatbelts on, because this is going to be wild. So, once upon a time, there was a girl named Dree who was kind of fresh out of a relationship. It had been a couple of months since she had been in a relationship. So she was still exploring and also trying to understand her sexuality and, just explore to her best abilities. Oh, there we go. So, with that being said, she also wanted to date, like actually go on dates, meet new people, just have fun, get to know people. She didn't know people like that. So one day, she accidentally, but yet intentionally, double booked a date. One was with somebody that she really, really wanted to hang out with, and the other was with somebody who she was like not really into, wasn't really attracted to at all. But she was like, you know what, might be a good time. Might have a fun date and stuff, might make a new friend. You never know. Maybe, if anything, business partner. Because she did have her little podcast at the end. Back then. But anyways, so the date that she booked earlier in the day was with the person that she really wanted, or really liked, rather. And that was unexpectedly added on to the same day as the other date. So on the date, the first date, during the day, they were kicking it. They were just, let me stop talking in fucking third person. It's doing too much. Now I feel like I'm forcing it. So let's just talk about it. So yeah, the first date or whatever, I'm kicking it with dude. It's a really, really good vibe. Like, I'm fucking with him for real. Let me continue getting dressed while I'm telling this story. But I'm really, really fucking with him for real. He was very handsome to me, and he had some really good weed. So I went over there and we were just smoking. Did we drink? I don't think we drank. I think we just smoked. This is back when I was a smoker, y'all. Y'all know I don't really be hitting the weeds like that. But so we were smoking, kicking it, watching TV, and cuddling a little bit. And then we started making out. And it was a really good makeout session. And I had already told him, like, I gotta leave or whatever. I didn't, of course, tell him that it was a date. But I did tell that man, like, I do got something else that I gotta do or whatever. So maybe we can hang out another day or whatever. So he's like, dang, I don't want you to leave. Because, like I said, we were making out and it was really, really good. It was really, really good vibe. And I didn't want to leave either. But I had to hurry up and get ready for the next date. Because I did not want to, spend that person or whatever. Because I had already been spending them before. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to just go. And then, if I had some time, if it's not too late. I think I told him that. If it's not too late, I can come back and we can kick it again or whatever. And he was like, all right, bet, just let me know. All right, so I go get dressed, and I had to drive an hour out for the next date because it wasn't in my city. It was actually outside of the city. And mind you, I had a 2003 Saturn. So that motherfucker getting on the highway was always like a we'll see, but you got to see it through, my boys. And it was fall. This is around the fall time, so it was a cold time of the year. And if you know Ohio falls, they get cold. It's damn near winter. So I'm driving down, meet up with the dude, and it actually turned out to be a really decent date. The date, I think we just went out to eat, and then afterwards we got drinks and all that kind of stuff. And of course I got a little tipsy, so I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna just go back to his place, sober up, and then I'm gonna hit the road back. And then by this time it's still, I believe, before midnight, so you know, making good timing, blah blah blah. So I should not have done this, but he offers me a drink and I take it. Like, not saying like I shouldn't have done it because I don't trust him, but I should not have done it because I'm trying to sober up so I can get the fuck home. So why are you drinking more alcohol, bitch? So we're drinking some more and we're talking, we're vibing, we're watching TV and stuff like that, and it's just chill. And the topic of my podcast come up because at the time I had edibles, and I just talked about sex on the podcast. So we started talking about the podcast, about my kinks, why I started the podcast, all that kind of stuff. And then it kind of just leads into more sexual conversation. And the liquor is spinning or making my head spin. Not in a bad way, but it's hitting certain parts of my body. And again, I'm not attracted to this person, but he started looking good after about the second or third drink. And I was already tipsy. So one thing led to another. We start kissing and stuff like that, and we head to his room. So I pull down his pants, right? I should have left them up, because as soon as I pulled them pants down, y'all, the most rank ass, stank ass scent came out. And I was like, what the fuck? That don't smell right. Now, he's a clean person, so, and you can tell just by how he carries himself, how his house looks is very clean, very neat. So I'm like, I'm in disbelief that I'm smelling this smell. Y'all, I look, and at the time I didn't know that this was probably the reason for the smell, but I did notice that he was uncircumcised. And if you know anything about uncircumcised peen, there's a certain way that you have to clean the penis. You have to get it all the way up under the skin. I'm not saying that he didn't clean it. Maybe he did clean it properly and knew how to clean it, but by the time the date happened, he started sweating or something, and it caused the glands or whatever to, I don't know. I'm not about to get into a whole science lesson. Bottom line is, he should have freshened the fuck up if he knew he was about to try to, or even if he didn't know he was going to end up where we were, he could have, I don't know. I just know, like, even though I'm a clean person and I know, like, I eat really well and that, you know, I stay safe, I still have the tendency to want to freshen up before I, you know, deal with anybody. And I think, like, especially if you got an uncircumcised peen, you gotta know how to, you gotta know what the fuck you working with. You gotta know that you got the extra layer of skin, my nigga. That shit sweats. Like, so we ended up still doing it. We wrapped it up, which I wish I would have watched him, like, fully watched him wrap it up. I remember him putting the condom on and everything, but I don't remember watching him, because now I'm interested in knowing, like, how big the condom was to fit over all that skin. Like, now I got questions now. I just thought about that. But anyways, so yeah, we did it. It wasn't for that long, and now I'm left unsatisfied. And lo and behold, we look out the window and it's a fucking blizzard outside, and I gotta travel an hour home in my little Saturn that barely made it down in the first place. So I'm getting my clothes on because I'm not staying here. It does not matter. I will stay stuck on the highway before I stay here. It's just no. It's just no. I'm all, and then I'm starting to sober up and I'm starting to see what he looks like, because again, I'm not attracted. I'm like, damn, what the fuck did you do, bro? When I say I'm like a nigga, I'm like a nigga. But anyways, that post nut, I didn't even nut, so it's like that post drunk clarity for me. in this instance. So he's like, no, you ain't gotta leave. You know, it's bad outside. I'll even make breakfast. I'm like, nah, baby, I gotta go. I can't be here. I got to go. This motherfucker is really trying to get me to stay. I don't know. He's really trying to get me to stay. And I'm like, just telling him, like, no, I gotta go somewhere in the morning. And if I do not get up, I'm gonna be pissed off. And he was like, okay, I understand. Just let me know when you make it home. I'm like, all right, bet. I get my ass up in that car. I let it warm up. Because, you know, you got to let it warm up first. And then I hit the highway. By the time that I make it, whew, I was so thankful. I hit that shower immediately. Immediately, y'all. So then, I'm thinking like, shit, I ain't even get a chance to nut. I am kind of horny, though. Even though that instance had turned me off, like, or whatever, I'm still a little tipsy, and I still want to do something. So what do? I call my old faithful. Call that nigga, and it's after midnight by this time, so I was very surprised that he was still up. And he's like, I'm on the way. I don't know what the fuck he was doing. I think he was asleep. But he heard that phone, and he made his way on over to me. Comes over. My old faithful, at the time, his dick wasn't that big. But he gave the greatest head. And the sessions were actually good, even though the dick was not big. It was still good sex. But it wasn't that big. So afterwards, usually I feel fulfilled with him, but I did not. I needed more. And I was so salty. It was just like, damn, I just did 2 niggas in the same night, and that's some hoe shit. And I'm still left unfulfilled, y'all. So he left. Did he leave the next morning or left that night? I think he left that night. I don't know. But anyways, he left, and then I was disappointed. And then I remember the next day I get a call from the first date that I had, the guy that I liked. And he was just basically saying, like, he wishes that I could have stayed a little longer. He was fucking with my energy. And I said, the same shit. Like, I really shouldn't have left. I really shouldn't have. So we just been making plans to kick it again or whatever. And then I'm like, well, I ain't doing shit today. You want to kick it today? And so he was like, yeah, why not? So the nigga comes through with the weed. Because, again, that weed was fire. It was fire. Comes through with the weed. And, y'all, that weed, I don't know what was in that weed this time. He had to slip some Molly in it, like dusted some Molly or something in it. Because it just amplified everything. Like, the music that we were listening to on my TV. My bed sheets felt softer. The room smelled even brighter. He looked even brighter. And then feeling each other. Like, we made out again like we did the day before. And this time, it was like you could feel a deeper kiss. It was way more passionate. Crazy. Because it was already passionate. So passionate. So where he started, like, groping me and stuff like that. And somehow he ended up behind me. And then we're, like, sitting up on our knees type shit on the bed. And he's just kissing my neck from behind while choking me. Oh, my God, y'all. Y'all. And we fucked. Needless to say. And his dick was big. That nigga's dick was big. Like, I think he had to use XXL condoms. Like, it was big. It was so big. It was so good. Oh, it was so good. It was what I needed. What I was missing. And that is my whole story. The wholest thing that I had ever done. I had never done anything like that. Well, let me take that back. I did an orgy one time. And I have talked about that before. It was 3 married couples and me. And I was only engaging with the women because I didn't feel comfortable Nobody had condoms on them. So I'm like, you know what? I did make it very, very clear. Like, I do not want the men to touch me. Like, I'm not comfortable with that. And it was my first time ever having, like, well, an orgy, but group sex in that capacity. I had a threesome or whatever, but anything over 3 people being involved, I had never done. So I was very nervous. I didn't even know it was going to happen. But I'm not going to give y'all a 2-for-1 story. And I've already told that story plenty of times. But yeah, so that was the most hoe shit that I had ever done. Was, yeah. So thank you for coming to my hoe talk. Not my TED talk, but my hoe talk. Yeah. Damn, how old was I? I think I was like 25, 26. I'm 32 now. Damn. Time flies. It don't feel like it was that long ago, but it was. Oh no, I didn't do it right. But yeah. Okay. I would let my finger go. See, y'all making me fuck up because I'm over here trying to tell a story while trying to get myself cute. Whew. Okay, but hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe the channel. Thank you so much for 500 followers. By the time that I look on YouTube, it's probably going to be a little bit over 500. But thank y'all so much getting me up there. I appreciate all of y'all. And if you haven't already, why don't you go ahead and take a look at my flirty bar views. It's really funny. It's really good. I'm probably not gonna wear this outfit, actually. I debated about putting this story on my sunroom, which, by the way, subscribe if you want exclusive content, sexy content, sexy stories, all the shit. Because this is a very, I don't want to say, it's not embarrassing, obviously, because I don't give a fuck. You judge me, you judge your mama, hoe. But it's definitely a story where it's got some good, juicy details in it. And it's some hoe shit. But I figured, since I did say that I was going to tell y'all my hoest experience, in addition to everyone who revealed theirs on my channel, I went ahead and did it on here. So yeah, hope y'all enjoyed, but see y'all.